Howdy! Welcome back to the Sterling Specifier. Today we're going to be going over the basics of selecting a direct fired unit. First, click the direct fired button, and then it's going to ask for your location, whether you want it to be an indoor or an outdoor unit. I'm going to select indoor for today. And then it's going to ask for your CFM, and I'm going to put in 12,000. Once you get both of those pieces of information in, it should change the center of the button to green here. That means that you're good to go. So go ahead and click that button, and it'll give you some options for you to select. And just a good rule of thumb, typically it goes from least expensive to most expensive as you go down. So I'm going to choose the least expensive option, the SDR. Once you click that, it'll lead you to the new screen. And on this screen it should show you that you selected the SDR 160 at 12,000 CFM, and it is an indoor unit. And it's a good thing to rename your unit so that you don't get it confused with your other units. So I'm going to keep it simple today and just call it an SDR unit. And then you have to have three things in order to have a proper working unit. The first thing is a configuration, and you can select that here from this drop-down menu. The second thing is either a temperature rise or an MBH input, and once you put one in, it'll update the other one. So I'm going to put in 50 degrees, and you can see that it automatically does the MBH input for me. Then the last thing that you're required to have is a control system, and you can select that from this drop-down menu here. Now once you have those three things in, you can click Calculate, and it'll show you that you don't have any alerts or warnings. Let's say I hadn't put in the configuration and then clicked Calculate, it'll give me an alert because I didn't put in a configuration. Now once you have those three things that you have, you have lots of other options that you can select using drop-down menus and checkboxes. For instance, I can have a disconnect on my motor, and I can have a filter section, and I can have an inlet hood. And there are lots of other options that you can also select. And a couple things that are good to keep in mind and good to look out for is that whenever you're selecting your configuration, whenever you choose it, it'll show you a picture of what that looks like here. So if I were to say pick the HLS setup, it'll show that it goes in left hand and goes out to the side, where the HRB is right-handed and goes to the bottom. And also on the control system, whenever you select that, you can click this button here and it'll lead to a PDF that shows you what control system you've selected so that you're making sure to get what you're actually wanting to get. Once you're satisfied with your selection, you can click Calculate, and if you have any alerts or warnings, you'll want to make sure to clear those up before you move on. But if you don't, then you're good to go. You can click Output if you want to get the price quote output from that. And if you want to save the unit for later use, you can click Create. And that's the basics of selecting a direct fired unit. We'll see you later.